Now that you have the doors off, you might have noticed that you lost your side mirrors because they were permanently mounted to the doors themselves. You'll have to check with your state laws because some states, like ours, require that you have two mirrors that face backwards. So we have the center mirror, but we're short a mirror. That means we had to purchase a mirror kit to add to our Jeep Wrangler. You might have to do the same, but you can just Google your state laws, and we use the phrase, can I drive with the doors off in my state, and how many mirrors are required in a vehicle in my state. The first step in installing the Rugged Ridge quick release mirrors are to remove the two upper bolts from the frame just outside the windshield. Take the bolts out and take the washers out because you're going to replace them with the parts from Rugged Ridge. And use the Torx wrench. The one that comes with your Jeep kit has the right size bit for it, but it's a T40 size. So let's go ahead and attach the mounting arm to the mirror, and then we'll mount the entire thing to the driver's side of the Jeep Wrangler. A couple things to note. There were some extra washers included with the package that we received from Rugged Ridge. These are large metal washers, they're flat. We called tech support and they said basically not to use them. They must have been included by accident. So I'm just going to put those off to the side for now. For the mounting bracket, you have two stainless steel washers that are flat, and then you have a lock washer. And they recommend putting the lock washer on first, and then the two stainless steel washers on after that. Then we'll attach the mounting arm, and we'll use our ratchet set to go ahead and tighten it down. Now, again, we're just going to get everything snug. We're not going to make it its permanent position yet because we won't know that position until we actually mount it to the Jeep and wiggle it around so that it's in the best possible viewing angle for the driver. So we'll just tighten it snug for now, but not all the way snug. And then you might want to tighten these down a little bit too. These will, at highway speed, if they're not tight, it's going to allow the mirror to shift on you. So I usually just tighten these down a little bit using a Phillips head screwdriver. And then when we mount this to the, when we do the mounting bracket to the side of the Jeep, there's a plastic washer that comes with it, and then the replacement bolt that's going to go into the frame. So you just need to take the plastic washer, go ahead, push it down or twist it down all the way to the bottom. And that way when you're mounting the bracket to the frame, everything is nice and snug, and this actually fits in the little indent that's in the mounting bracket. So we'll take all this over with us. Next, we'll mount the mounting bracket to the side of the Jeep, making sure that the bracket has the nut side down. So there's no nut on here, there's a nut here. That's where the quick release knob is going to go into. You'll use two screws, one each with one of the plastic washers pushed onto it. So there's a couple washers that come with the kit. These are the round black plastic washers. They kind of twist on and push down to the bottom, and then you just mount this in the same place. And I like to just make sure it's flush, looking nice on there, then tighten it up with the same Torx wrench. Now we'll take our fully assembled mirror and we'll attach it to the bracket on the side of the Jeep. A couple things to keep in mind. there's a very faint Rugged Ridge logo stamped on the mirror. I like to put that so that the mirror is readable right side up with the logo on the bottom. The reason for that is if you take the mirrors off later and then you go to put them back on again, you might be confused as to which one goes on the right and which one goes on the left. But if the logo is right side up, then this is the right mirror and the other mirror will be the left mirror. And you'll see once it's mounted. So I'm just going to take everything, slide it through. We're going to put everything to snug at this point, but we're not going to lock it down into its final position yet. The reason for that is you'll need someone to help you adjust the mirrors so that the angle's correct when you're sitting in the driver's seat. And also, if you're doing it on your own, which is fine, it'll take probably 3 or 4 trips out of the driver's seat back to here to just kind of finesse it in place a little bit. So we'll tighten it up afterwards. Okay, for the driver's door, we just repeat the same process. And actually this side's a lot easier because you can sit and adjust the mirror from the driver's seat instead of having to walk around several times to adjust the mirror on your own or have somebody help you like the lovely Jeannie was able to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and position this, get it close for now, and then I will go ahead and snug it up afterwards. Just got to make sure the holes line up in the bushing, and that lines up. Good to go. And again, we're just going to get it snug so it stays in place. Then we can mess around with the positioning of it. So it looks like it's got to come in a little bit. And just tilt it up. And that looks good to me. But I'll take it on the road, or at least out on a side street here, just make sure everything looks good one last time. But you can now take it back to your workbench. Really, it's just going to be a matter of sliding this in and out a little bit, rotating the arm a little bit. But I think I like the position of the mirror, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down on the back side. Okay, now if you have a partner, like I do, the lovely Jeannie from Team Vicarious, she can help you set up the passenger side mirror. If you're on your own, you can do it by yourself. It's just going to be 10 or more trips around the Jeep to position everything perfectly. So go ahead and slide it down, please, and then let me take a look. I'll tell you when to stop. Stop. Right there. Okay, go back one. Come back to me one time. Perfect. Right there. Okay, so thank you. And that's what we'll do now that it's in the perfect position. I can see everything behind me. We'll go ahead and crank it down, tighten it down, and that way, when we're out on the road, it's in the perfect position. Now that you're happy with the position of the mirror, we're going to make a little mark because we're going to take this off again and tighten it up on our workbench so that we get it nice and snug and there's less chance of it slipping while we're driving at highway speeds. So I just use a little pencil. I just mark everything where I want it to line up when we come back. So I'm going to take it to the workbench now, tighten everything up, and then come back in just a minute. Now that we've got everything positioned perfectly, we just want to snug everything up so that it doesn't slip at highway speeds. So that includes the bolts and then the screws. And we're all set. Now that we've got everything tightened down, we're going to mount the arm back. We're going to line up those marks that we made with our pencil and tighten it as hard as we can with our hands in place, and then we'll make one final attempt to tighten it down as much as possible after that. Get it really tight as much as you can with your hand. Then grab your wrench and go ahead and give it another turn. And you're all set. That's nice and steady. final position of everything and everything has been tightened down, erase the pencil mark and now come back and use a Sharpie to mark permanently where this mirror should go each time you put it in. So not only do you have to remember the left one goes on the left and the right one goes on the right, but this will help you later when it comes time to quickly putting the mirrors back in after having them out for a little while. So that's how you attach the Rugged Ridge quick release mirrors. We hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to tighten them down really tight. You can use a wrench, it's okay. Rugged Ridge Tech Support says no problem. If the bushing ever cracks, they'll replace it under warranty. But we tighten them down very, very tight. And at 80 miles an hour on the highway, they don't slip. And they seem to hold up.
Let's go for a ride.
All right, let's go for a ride.
Let's do it. Thank you.